We're cutting across to breaking inputs coming in. These are first pictures of Liquorgate accused Amit Arora, who is being taken to the Rouse Avenue court in Delhi. He's being produced in the court, where the Enforcement Directorate is all set to push for his custody. A very important development in the Liquorgate case that is getting bigger. And remember, this is yet another arrest, most importantly, Amit Arora, who is being taken to Rouse Avenue court in Delhi. He's being produced in the court and the Enforcement Directorate to push for his custody. Those pictures on your screens from the Rouse Avenue court. Amit Arora post-arrest. And remember, he is to be produced in the Rouse Avenue court in the national capital. The investigation that is intensifying in the Liquorgate case. This is yet another arrest made by the Delhi police as they look into this case and try and find all the connecting dots. This is Amit Arora, who has been arrested, and he's now being taken to the Rouse Avenue court, where the ED is all set to seek his custody further. Piyush Ori is with me on the phone line. Piyush, give us details of Amit Arora. When will he be produced in the Rouse Avenue court? And what exactly are going to be the arguments from the side of the ED?
So, as you rightly said, that Amit Arora has been produced at the Rouse Avenue court by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, he is one of the main accused in the Delhi excise liquor scam, and he is the managing director of Buddy Retail, one of the dubious firms that was involved in framing the liquor policy, which actually caused loss to the public exchequer. To the Enforcement Directorate by the person.
All right, that line is not very clear. We'll try and reconnect with Piyush at a later point. But most importantly, those pictures on your screens, Amit Arora post his arrest, and he is to be produced in the Rouse Avenue court, where the ED is all set to seek his custody. We have to slip into a very short commercial break right now, but all eyes also on the AIIMS cyber attack case that is getting bigger, and IP addresses from a foreign country that are under the scanner. Also, a big development: Bilkis Bano has knocked the doors off the top court, saying send her rapists back to jail.
Sharmila is seated in the car. This is the very particular car. She is right behind me, and also, as you can see, she is trying to stage protest here. In the meantime, we also see that police officials are now allowing her to move out from this place, and also at the same time there are vehicles which are put across just before her vehicle, and their police officials are asking her to get down because she does not have permission to go ahead, and also at the same time she has been questioning the government here in the state of Telangana.
NI raids on gangster network across states in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Punjab. Multiple teams are part of the raids at various locations.
International Film Festival that happened in Goa, where the statement from Nadav has clearly mentioned that a Kashmiri file is nothing but an propaganda.
Smriti Irani slams Rahul Gandhi, says he's marching with those who want to break India.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted
High voltage battle
which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
As Gujarat goes to polls, live coverage minute by minute
all day today on Republic.
And more breaking news coming in. Madras High Court quashes one FIR registered by DVAC against former Minister S.P. Velu Mani on corruption charges and refused to quash another case. The corruption charges related to tenders given during his tenure as the PWD minister has been quashed, whereas the accumulation of asset charges against him will be carried. Earlier, the former AIIMS minister S.P. Velu Mani had pleaded to the court to quash both the DVAC FIRs. We're trying to get in touch with my colleague Varshini, who's picking up more details on the same, but this is the latest that is just coming in for former Minister S.P. Velu Mani on corruption charges. As he had appealed to the court to quash both the DVAC FIRs, and that has now been quashed. The corruption charges related to tenders given during his tenure as the PWD minister has been quashed. It's coming in as a big relief to the minister. Madras High Court has quashed one FIR against S.P. Velu Mani. Cutting across to Varshini, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Varshini, tell us more what happened in the court and certainly a sense of relief for the minister. All right, not too sure if Arshini can hear me, but these are the latest details coming in. We'll try and cut across to her in a short while from now. For the moment, a 1-minute report coming up next.
Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai will be making a visit to Belagavi on the 2nd of December, and this particular visit holds a lot of political significance because this is coming on the backdrop of the escalation in the Karnataka-Maharashtra border row as well. He's coming to Ramdurga to go on and inaugurate several development projects as well as lay foundation stone as well. But on the other side, in Maharashtra, in Sangli district and parts of Jat region, the people there have invited Baswaraj Bommai to confer him an award because he's gone on to give them water, drinking water and water for irrigation facilities when they did not have water as well. But in this particular regard, there has been no sort of official confirmation that is coming from the Chief Minister or else even the Chief Minister's office whether he will be heading to Maharashtra to receive the award. But on the 2nd of December, the arrival of the Chief Minister in Belagavi's Ramdurga region has already been confirmed. With video journalist Sadanand, Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Belagavi.
And on that note, it's time for us to slip into a very short commercial break. But the big stories we're tracking for you this afternoon. Kashmiri pundits expose lobbyist propaganda, saying make 100 Kashmir files. Sporadic protests erupting across the country. And protests continue in China. Xi Jinping digs in heels, promises harder crackdown.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation and drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening, compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
YS Sharmila. She was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed. And then the police officials towed the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
YS Sharmila is seated in the car. This is the very particular car. She is right behind me, and also as you can see, she is trying to stage protest here. In the meantime, we also see that police officials are now allowing her to move out from this place, and also at the same time there are
Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai, as we'd been reporting earlier, is set to visit Belgavi on the 2nd of December. Bommai will visit the bordering village of Belgavi.
The Delhi Liquor Gate. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has now arrested Amit Arora. Now, remember, it's the 6th arrest in the case.
The joint operation for the BSF as well as the Punjab police, as they have recovered 5 AK rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines that have been recovered from the Firozpur area.
And we're now getting you pictures of an avalanche that has been reported in Lahore Spiti from Himachal Pradesh. On your screens there, you see how a glacier broke in Rowling and Jangla Nukar village of Lahore Spiti. As of now, we are learning that no major damage has been reported from this avalanche. But those pictures, they're speaking for themselves, coming in from Himachal Pradesh of an avalanche reported at Lahore Spiti. And on to other big stories we're tracking this afternoon. Israeli filmmaker Nadav Lapid, who insulted Kashmir files at IFI, has now targeted India. While speaking to an Israeli media house, Lapid said that what's going on in India is crazy. He raised questions over India's Kashmir policy. Outraged over the insults by Israeli filmmaker, Kashmiri Pandits protest in Jammu. Kashmiri Pandits asked the filmmaker to come on ground and witness the pain. Angry Pandits also said that the filmmaker's thoughts are vulgar.
देखिए, मैं इस बंदे को एक एजेंट के रूप में देखता हूँ. इस बंदे को प्लांट किया गया है और उसने इफी के स्टेज पे एक बहुत बड़ा ब्लास्ट किया है. ये एक वाइट कॉलर टेररिस्ट था जो चेयरमैन ऑफ जूरी के नाम पे अपॉइंट किया गया.
Telangana Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan has expressed her anguish and questioned KCR over YS Sharmila. The governor has said that women leaders and cadres need to be treated in a more dignified and respectful manner. DMK has filed a fresh affidavit in the Supreme Court on the court opposing CAA. DMK said that CAA is against India's fabric of secularism. DMK raised the issue of Tamilians and said that Indian Tamilians are living in refugee camps in constant fear of deportation in the state. DMK also alleged the centre of practicing a stepmotherly treatment towards Tamilians. Fresh arrest has been made in Liquorgate case. Businessman Amit Arora is the latest arrest in the case. As according to sources, Amit Arora was arrested under criminal sections of PMLA. The accused will be produced in the Rouse Avenue Court in New Delhi, where ED is all set to seek his custody. CBI has given summons to Telangana Minister Gangula Kamlakar and TRS MP Vadi Raju Ravichandra. Both the leaders have been asked to appear in Delhi tomorrow. Earlier, Telangana minister was raided by IT department. For the 8th straight day, the server at AIIMS are running down and AIIMS is forced to run the systems on manual mode. Meanwhile, agencies have found an IP address that belongs to a neighboring country and investigating whether it is an insider job or if there is any foreign hand in this cyber attack. Ahead of the MCD elections, BJP has released its manifesto that includes promises of bringing all services of the civic body online within 100 days and 100% garbage processing. Today, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri briefed about BJP's master plan for MCD. He said that as many as 10 lakh people in the economically weaker sections will get homes with the help of the central government. 50 lakh people will benefit from the PM Uday scheme and get their houses regularized. The third major scheme is land pooling, and he said that they faced problems in land pooling in the start, but around 75 lakh people will be benefited from this scheme. Total of 1 crore 35 lakh people who will benefit all in all due to redevelopment schemes.
विज्ञान भवन से कालका जी में बनाए गए इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन के हमारे भाइयों और बहनों के लिए 3000 से अधिक फ्लैट्स जो हैं उनको उनमें से 500 लाभार्थियों को तो चाबी हाथ में पकड़ाई और बाकियों को भी बाद में हमने हैंडओवर किया.
Stepping into a short break, on the other side, after genocide rant, Israeli filmmaker Lapid now reveals political angle to his comment. Also, the AIIMS cyber attack case that is getting bigger. IP addresses from foreign countries are now under scanner.
झाके रे झाके झरोखे से झाके हैरत से आंखें अपनी सी दुनिया नई रंगी लागे ख्यालों की खिड़की से मन कूदे भागे झाके रे झाके झरोखे से झाके देख के दंग है छोटे बड़े सारे झाके रे झाके हर कोई ताके तरक्की को टुक टुक हर कोई ताके झाके रे झाके झरोखे से झाके
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed, and then the police officials towed the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
Viewers, it's time for Superfast 50. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Let's get started. Major protests broke out in Jammu by Kashmiri Pandits following remarks with Israeli filmmaker Nadev Lapid at the 53rd AIIMS festival in Goa, with the Pandits condemning the claim that Kashmir fast was vulgar and a propaganda.
सबसे पहले भ्रमण करना चाहिए जो हमारा 19 में जेनोसाइड हुआ है वो क्यों हुआ है, कैसे हुआ है, उससे या तो उसको पता नहीं है कश्मीरी पंडितों के साथ क्या हुआ. अगर वो खुद उसे देखा होगा, उसे रिसर्च किया होता, वो यहाँ पर कैंपों पे आया होता, तो वो बात नहीं करता है. अगर वो इजराइल से ये ताल्लुक रखता है, उसको फिर पहले फलस्तीन की बात करनी चाहिए.
The polygraph test conducted on Aftab Poonawalla in connection with the Shraddha murder case. Aftab reportedly admitted that the murder was planned. He did not regret killing Shraddha. Bilkis Bano has moved the Supreme Court against the release of the 11 convicts. She has questioned the policy of 1992 in Gujarat pertaining to the release of the convicts, and she has further filed another petition stating that it would be appropriate to have the trial held in Maharashtra. CJI Chandrachud has stated that he would examine whether they can be heard by the same bench. DMK has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court against CAA. The DMK has alleged that the CAA is against Tamils from Sri Lanka as well as India's secular fabric by discriminating on the basis of religion. 6 arrests has been made in connection with the liquor gate case. Amit Arora, a person seen in a sting released by the BJP, has been arrested. Amit Arora is allegedly a director in at least 13 companies, including a company named Buddy Retail, which is under the CBI radar. On the 8th day and following the cyber attack on AIIMS, agencies are investigating whether mirror servers were being used to give a fake location of an IP address found to have originated from a neighboring country. Following a cyber attack at the Medical Institute in New Delhi, e-hospital data in AIIMS in New Delhi has been restored. The process is reported to have been taken time due to large number of servers and computers in use. 2 system analysts have been suspended. In fact, as well, that's a report that has come in, as well as the AIIMS case gets more complex right now. The servers are still down and DRDO has been asked to help. Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary sparks a row, claims implementation of CAA was for politics and the law would be dangerous and Hindus themselves.
मोदी सीए कानून 3 साल पहले पारित हो चुके हैं। अगर दम जिसके पास है वो चालू करा रहा हो। ये तो सेंट्रल कानून है, ये सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन है। मोदी सरकार के पास ये उनके जेब में है सीए। लागू कराने किसने रोका है? वो क्यों नहीं लागू कर सकते? सीए अगर लागू होगी ना, ज्यादा हिंदू लोगों का खतरा बनेगी। ये मैं आज से आप इसको संज्ञान में ले लेना चाहिए कि ये जो सीए है और जो एनआरसी है, ये बस चुनावी ये औजार है।
Uttarakhand government moved a more stringent anti-conversion bill in the state assembly that seeks to make unlawful religious conversion a cognizable and non-bailable offence, punishable with imprisonment for a term of at least 3 years to a maximum of 10 years. Speaking on the incident of firing, Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sarma stated that he did not approve of police firing on civilians that should be resorted to only against terrorists and criminals. The Chief Minister further said that the governments were committed to securing the lives of the people and that vehicles were moving freely between Assam and either of the states. Speaking on whether on the setup of the anti-radicalization cell in Gujarat will be implemented in other states, Home Minister MHA stated that it was a good initiative and that the CAA would be implemented here first, with the Home Minister stating that the cells and mechanism had to be decided and that the entire world was concerned about radicalization. Union Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri in a BJP press conference informed that at least 10 lakh people without homes would be beneficiaries under the PM Uday scheme. Unauthorized colonies are to affect at least 50 lakh people and 1.35 crore citizens are to benefit for a redevelopment plan being pursued in the national capital. The IG of BSF in Jammu, DK Bura, has spoken about how the BSF had foiled attempts of border incursion in the Union territory this year and that all terrorists in connection with the incident had been killed. In a joint operation with the BSF, the Punjab police have recovered 5 AK-47 rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines from Firozpur. At least 13 kilograms of heroin was earlier recovered from the same area.
विज्ञान भवन से कालका जी में बनाए गए इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन के हमारे भाइयों और बहनों के लिए 3000 से अधिक फ्लैट्स जो हैं उनको उनमें से 500 लाभार्थियों को तो चाबी हाथ में पकड़ाई और बाकियों को भी बाद में हमने हैंडओवर किया।
The IG of BSF in Jammu, D.K. Bura, spoke about how the BSF had foiled all attempts of border incursion in the Union Territory this year, and all the terrorists in connection with the incident had been killed.
जो हम आपको ये वायदा करते हैं कि BSF अपने काम को एकदम ऊंचे स्तर का रखेगी और सीमा की सुरक्षा में किसी तरह की कोताही नहीं होने देगी, और इस हमारा जो गोल है इस सीमा को बिल्कुल जीरो इन्फिल्ट्रेशन किसी भी तरह की रखा जाए, उसके ऊपर हम पूरा कार्य करेंगे।
During operation with BSF, the Punjab police have recovered 5 AK-47 rifles, 5 pistols and 9 magazines from Firozpur. At least 13 kgs of heroin was earlier recovered from the same area. AD has initiated an investigation against former Congress Minister Bharat Bhushan Ashu in connection with a food grain scam in Punjab. The Punjab Vigilance Bureau had earlier arrested the minister in connection with the case. Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai visited Tamil Nadu's governor over allegations that there were security lapses, with PM Modi had visited Tamil Nadu for inauguration of the chess Olympiad, with the BJP chief claiming the door frame, metal detector and other metal detectors used for PM security was non-functional. Six casualties have been reported after a fire broke out due to a short circuit in an inverted factory in Firozabad in UP. At least 18 fire tenders were deployed at the site of the incident. A major fire broke out in a plastic factory in Havra in West Bengal. 3 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot in order to douse the fire. An incident of eve teasing was reported from Madhya Pradesh. After the incident was recorded on CCTV, anger was further reported by the residents in the area, demanding action against the suspect. At least 5 attempts of a drone infiltration from Pakistan has been reported from the border in Punjab, as was informed by the BSF. At least 2 drones were shot down after an intrusion by drones were reported from Tarantaran, Amritsar and Gurdaspur. A spear corps of the Indian Army along with the Manipur police arrested one cadre of PLA from Jiribam in Manipur. The cadre has been handed over to the police for further investigation. 6 casualties and 15 injuries have been reported after a bus collided with a truck in Jarwal area of Baraj in UP. The cause of the accident is yet to be ascertained, as the injured have been sent to a hospital. Special Task Force of Haryana Police says 13 quintals and 14 kilograms of poppy husk in Ambala with a narcotic has reported to have been bought from Rajasthan. Now, 2 people have been arrested in connection with the case. Vice Chairman of Toyota Kirloskar Motors Vikram S. Kirloskar has now passed away due to a heart attack. The car maker later released a statement informing of his demise. Last rites of the Vice Chairman of the group was announced to be held at the Herbal Crematorium in Bengaluru. 15 Bangladeshi nationals, including 8 men, 7 women, 1 child, were released from the Mathura district jail after completing their sentence. They were arrested for living illegally in India and holding fake ration cards. A Pentagon report stated that China has asked the US not to interfere in the relationship between China and India, stating that the military build-up at the border between the 2 countries with the warning, further stating that China did not want border tensions with India to interfere a closer partnership between India and the US. French butchers and sausage makers protested outside the France's lower house of parliament over soaring prices of energy that they need to refrigerate meat. Protesters and federations are urging the government to adopt similar policies to Germany, Spain and Portugal, where gas and electricity prices are not index-linked, 4 to 5 times less expensive than in France. Big blow to China. UK ousted Beijing from the construction of a nuclear power station. The power plant will now be built with French partner EDF. This comes a day after UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said that the golden era of UK-China relations was over. China's foreign ministry on Tuesday pushed back against the UK's criticism of its handling of the public anger over its zero-COVID policy. The Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson defended his country's COVID policy as science-based, correct and effective. The UN said that it supports demonstrators' right to protest over China's COVID policies. The UN spokesperson said that the UN believes in the right to demonstrate peacefully and urged the Chinese authorities to guarantee that right.
We've seen some of the video of demonstrations, and our reaction is the same one we have for the world over, is that we believe in the importance of people's right to peaceful assembly and association, their right to demonstrate peacefully, and urge the authorities to guarantee.
Landlocked Afghanistan is in talks with China to rekindle ancient Silk Road trade routes in order to help its dwindling economy. Taliban's Industry and Commerce Minister Nuruddin Azizi on Monday urged China to speed up efforts for the opening of the Silk Route. Azizi said that it could become a reliable route for the transit of goods. Pakistan's government had decided to file an application against former Prime Minister Imran Khan with the National Accountability Bureau and Federal Investigation Agency in the Toshakhana case. Development comes after the EC of Pakistan in October disqualified PTI chief Imran Khan under Article 63(1)(p) in the Toshakhana case and ruled that he is no longer a member of the National Assembly. Qatar will supply liquefied natural gas to Germany under 15-year deal signed between them yesterday as a European economic powerhouse scrambles to replace Russian gas supplies that were cut during the ongoing war in Ukraine. Top justice officials from G7 industrial powers agreed to coordinate more closely in efforts to investigate war crimes in Ukraine. German Justice Minister made the announcement after a meeting in Berlin that was attended by Ukraine's Attorney General and the Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. The state broadcasting head said that Iran had no rule to sing the national anthem after players refused to sing their anthem before the opening match against England at the World Cup.
There is not any rule in Iran for the players to read or to companion with the anthem of country. We had many matches that the players didn't read it, and we had many matches that read it. That's not the rule in Iran. As you saw in the against Wales, the Iranian players they read the anthem of Iran, and did so.
Twitter rants are set to grow longer. The microblogging site's character limit might soon expand to 1,000 characters from its previous limit of just 280 characters. Musk has shown interest in the idea of increasing the character limit on a number of occasions since its controversial takeover of the platform. Venues across the Gaza Strip team with football fans, a majority cheering for Iran during its World Cup match against the United States. Supporting Iran is not unusual in this tiny Palestinian enclave blockaded by Israel and Egypt. Residents in several towns across Louisiana and Mississippi have taken cover as tornado sirens rang out late. Forecasters warned of the threat of strong twisters capable of tracking long distances on the ground as a severe weather outbreak erupted in the Deep South. The White House unveiled a sign on its own front lawn with a message from United States President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden wishing the team well before their crunch tie with Iran in Group B. And after Christian Pulich's first half strike earned them a team win over Iran, the Empire State Building was lit up with the red, white and blue colors, celebrating the country's first victory at the World Cup. Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden both scored to put England into the last 16 of the World Cup, a 3-0 victory over Wales. Wales finished in last place in the group and has been eliminated. Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden both scored to put England into the last 16 of the World Cup with a 3-0 victory over Wales. Wales finished in the last place in the group and have been eliminated. Saudi Arabia faced Mexico in the Group C decider, knowing victory will see them secure a place in the last 16 at the World Cup. Despite a 2-0 defeat to Poland, they can still advance to the knockout stages with victory over Mexico. Mexico trained as they continue for their preparations ahead of their must-win FIFA World Cup Group C match against Saudi Arabia at the stadium. Poland top Group C on 4 points, with Argentina and Saudi Arabia next along in 3 points, and Mexico have 1 point. France trained on the eve of the final group game at the World Cup in Qatar. France became the first team to reach the last 16 when they beat Denmark 2-1 in the second match. They followed an impressive 4-1 victory in their opener against Australia. Tunisia prepared its tomorrow's game against France, a team so far unbeaten in the tournament that has already qualified for the last 16. Tunisia tied 0-0 with Denmark and lost 1-0 against Australia. Tunisia will qualify for the round of 16 if it defeats France and Denmark defeats Australia, provided that Tunisia's victory is greater than Denmark's victory in terms of goal difference. Argentina face Poland in their Group C finale, knowing that what a draw might not be enough to see them advance in the last 16 of the World Cup. They now face group leaders Poland, knowing a draw might not be enough to secure a place in the knockout stages of Saudi Arabia beat bottom place Mexico.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
NIA raids on gangster network across states in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Punjab. Multiple teams are part of the raids at various locations.
International Film Festival that happened in Goa, where the statement from Nadav has clearly mentioned that a Kashmiri file is nothing but propaganda.
Smriti Irani slams Rahul Gandhi, says he's marching with those who want to break India.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening, compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
Viewers, getting some reaction coming in from Mehbooba Mufti, who is right now supporting anti-India Lapid, and Mufti is backing the one who insulted India. She has tweeted, and let me read the tweet out for our viewers. Finally, someone called out a movie that was nothing but sheer propaganda promoted by the ruling party to demonize Muslims, especially Kashmiris, and widen the gulf between Pandits and Muslims. Sad that the diplomatic channels are now being used to silence the truth. That is a tweet of Mehbooba Mufti there on the screen, viewers, where clearly Mufti is seen supporting the anti-India Lapid, who has refused to apologize. Instead, he has maintained that in countries that are losing the ability to speak your mind, someone needs to speak. That's exactly what Lapid has said. He has refused to apologize for the comments he had made on the movie, The Kashmir Files. But right now, we are seeing a reaction come. And in this reaction, which you see on your screens from Mehbooba Mufti, it's written, finally somebody called out a movie that was nothing but sheer propaganda promoted by the ruling party to demonize Muslims, especially Kashmiris, and widen the gulf between Pandits and Muslims. Sad that diplomatic channels are now being used to silence the truth. That's a tweet of Mehbooba Mufti, where she has made another very shocking tweet there coming from her. Gursimran is joining me on the phone line. Gursimran, this is a tweet which has come out from Mehbooba Mufti. Once again, she has gone ahead and made a comment like that. Earlier, we saw her attacking our forces, our Indian forces, our Indian army, and right now, a tweet coming from her of this nature.
See, it seems that the lobby is getting together on the issue pertaining to put the facts under the carpets, because it was earlier in the day Lipid, and now Mehbooba Mufti coming to his support clearly shows that there are certain people in the society, those who are trying to put under the carpet what has happened in 90s. They are trying to deviate from the facts and the realities that have taken place. So see, we have earlier seen that how their first they've tried to put the onus on the Kashmir Files producers, terming it as a propaganda, and then trying to target the government of India on the issue. And now Mehbooba Mufti has got a tool from which she can target the Kashmiri Pandit community, the sentiments of the Kashmiri Pandit community, as well as the government of India. And now she is widely, openly supporting the statement of Israel director. We have seen earlier today that how protests broke out in Jammu, where the majority of the Kashmiri Pandits live, where they condemned this statement of the Nadev Lipid and said that these statements are just trying to put the new kind of perspective that they are trying to create, so that the culprits of the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits can be given a clean sheet.
Right, Gursimran. So this comment which has come in is after IFI jury head Nadev Lapi that called Kashmir Files vulgar. He has called it vulgar. And you're also covering those protests in the valley where after we have seen so many cases of Kashmiri Pandits being targeted by terrorists. And right now, even after that, Mehbooba Mufti is backing Lapid in such an atmosphere where the people in the valley are feeling unsafe.
See, certainly, at this time we have seen time and again that Mehbooba Mufti has always been silent on the external powers that are trying to defame the country, and has always been vocal when it comes to criticize the union government. This time she has also got an opportunity to target the union government and to target the Kashmir Files, to hurt the sentiments of the Kashmiri Pandit community by putting out such kind of a tweet wherein she has backed the statements by Nadev Lipid and has now said that this is what someone other has spoken about. So this shows that there is a certain set of people, those who have a similar kind of ideology, to defame the Kashmiri Pandits, to defame the government of India on the issue, and to give clean sheet to those who have committed the atrocities in 90s, and that has been continuing for a long period of time.
All right, thank you, Gursimran, for joining us on the phone line here. Very, very shocking statement coming out from Mehbooba Mufti yet again. You are getting some more breaking updates coming in at this point of time. A glacier has broken in Lahore Spiti. No major damage is reported from the glacier. This is the new breaking news development we're getting for you right now, coming from Himachal, where the visuals of that are also on your screen right now. And a big glacier has broken in Lahore Spiti. It happened in a village of Rowling and Jangla Nukkar village of Lahore Spiti. But no major damage has been reported so far from that incident which has taken place, viewers. The visuals of that you can see on your screen as well. There was an avalanche in Lahore Spiti which had also occurred at the same time. But we are also learning a glacier has broken in that area of Lahore Spiti. And but as of now, as we get more details about what we can expect next, we are learning that no major damage has been reported so far. Of course, we have to wait and watch about fresh updates coming in, whether there has been any kind of incident of some kind of a damage. But avalanches in Lahore Spiti are quite common as well, viewers. Multiple avalanches have hit Lahore Spiti in the past few months. And time and again. On that note, it's time for a very short break, viewers. Much more coming up on the other side. We continue to be live and breaking. Viewers, AIIMS cyber attack case now gets bigger. IP addresses from foreign countries now under the scanner. Plus, Bilkis Baino knocks on doors of Supreme Court, says send rapists back to jail.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening, compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed. And then the police officials towed the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
Sharmila is seated in the car. This is the very particular car. She is right behind me, and also as you can see, she is trying to stage protest here. In the meantime, we also see that police officials are now allowing her to move out from this place, and also at the same time there are vehicles which are put across just before her vehicle, and the police officials are asking her to get down because she does not have permission to go ahead, and also at the same time she has been questioning the government here in the state of Telangana.
NIA raids on gangster network across states.
Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December. 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
After genocide rant, Israeli filmmaker Lapid now reveals political angle to the comment. Lapid echoes lobby's intolerant line, attacks Indian government, says no free speech. And this is the latest that is just coming in. Nawab Malik's bail plea has been rejected by the PMLA court. No relief for Nawab Malik, former Maharashtra minister, where his bail plea has been rejected in the PMLA court. We are trying to get details on the ground of what exactly happened inside the court. But this is the special court that has rejected Nawab Malik's bail plea. We'll have Alicia join us shortly to give us more details of what transpired at the PMLA court. But straight away bringing you these details at 2:28 p.m. Nawab Malik's bail plea has been rejected by the PMLA court. This was in the money laundering case, where the former Maharashtra minister was hoping to get bail, and the court has now pronounced the bail, order on the bail plea, which has been rejected. Alicia is with us on the broadcast. Alicia, tell us more of what happened in the court.
Well, yes, it's a special PMLA court which has rejected the bail application that was filed by Nawab Malik in a money laundering case that was registered by Enforcement Directorate. Moreover, this was a case that was registered against the D gang, which also shows the involvement of Nawab Malik, whether the property that was landed off a Goa compound wala in Kotla, and there were several statements that has also been recorded in the same case. Moreover, Nawab Malik, who was also called in for the summer, and after 11 hours of questioning, Nawab Malik was arrested, and there was a bail application that has also been filed right after the charge sheet that was filed by Enforcement Directorate in the same money laundering case. But today, where the court has already pronounced the order, which they have looking the matter like very serious and taking a matter into very serious consideration, where the bail application that was filed by Nawab Malik has been rejected by the special PMLA court.
But Alicia, also give us a sense of what happened in the court, because there have been lengthy arguments on both sides, as we understand, and the matter that was reserved on the 14th of November, but now his bail plea has been rejected.
Well, yes, we know that when it comes to the case, and there were several of the evidence and the witness statements that was put forward by the enforcement directorate, clearly showing the Nawab Malik, the involvement of Nawab Malik in this entire, the connection with whether it is from the Hasina Parker, and also there is a relation of some of the other relatives as well, which has come forward, and also been in a power where the Nawab Malik has misused his power, been in the ministry, is what has been transpired during the course of investigation. And that is something has been put forward before the court. While the case that was registered against the many of the members of the D gang, there was also the questioning that happened with Nawab Malik, where he was called in for the questioning. It was around 11 to 12 hours of questioning that happened, and right after that the arrest was made. He was placed under arrest because there are several certain evidence that has transpired before the enforcement directorate, and they have several evidence that has come forward, after which it was relevant for Nawab Malik to get arrested. And it's been almost a year now where Nawab Malik is under the judicial custody. So they were all actually waiting, where the Nawab Malik legal team was waiting for enforcement directorate to file a charge sheet. And we even saw in the charge sheet there are several of the things that has been transpired, the involvement of Nawab Malik with Hasina Parker and other D gang members. So after which, considering each and every point that has been put forward by the enforcement directorate, where the special PMLA court, Justice Rokade has pronounced his verdict, where the plea has been rejected.
Right. Alisha, I want to thank you for getting us all these details. And shifting focus now, the latest to react in the Kashmir Files controversy is none other than former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, who's put out a tweet in support of Lapid. The tweet that reads, and I quote, "Finally, someone called out a movie that was nothing but sheer propaganda promoted by the ruling party to demonize Muslims, especially Kashmiris, and widen the gap between Pandits and Muslims. Sad that diplomatic channels are now being used to silence the truth." This tweet that has just come in after Nadav Lapid has refused to apologize for what he said, and he said that he completely stands by his statement. Remember, he's on his way now back to his country. But this statement that has created such a stir, where we see rapid protests happening in several parts of the country. Arnab Goswami last night was in conversation with filmmaker Vivek Agnihotri of the Kashmir Files, who has thrown an open challenge saying that if any part of the film is not true, he's ready to give up filmmaking. Listen into that sequence.
Vivek, was this part of a toolkit? I was amazed at the way in which the words vulgar and propaganda were picked up within seconds of the statement by Nadav Lapid. I still don't understand it. What do you think?
Oh, 100% it's part of a political agenda, political campaign. And it's a very well coordinated campaign. And this has been going on for quite some time now. They have been trying this, the so-called, whom I call urban Naxal, you call Tukle Tukle Gang, somebody calls them Toolkit Gang. But in the end, they are all the same, known by various names. So all these people have been conspiring with international media, international filmmakers, and they want to create a narrative. They want to, slowly they are building momentum against 2024 elections. So this is part of that. And yesterday they used a creative platform.
Let him complete. Let him complete. No, Ahmad Ayaz, let him complete. Ahmad Ayaz, आपको कुछ कहना उनको खत्म करने देना, please.
No.
आप उनको बोलने दें.
No, when he says that it has been a conspiracy, was it also a conspiracy? Was it not a conspiracy when once you made a one-sided and biased picture about Kashmir?
Yes, every film is one-sided. I mean, a Superman movie doesn't show that Superman is good and bad both. So everything is one-sided. Genocide was also one-sided. All Hindus were killed. That was also one-sided. But anyway, see, the problem is, Arnab, two very constitutional questions have arisen. That every jury member signs a bond with the government of India. This is a government of India function. You know, so every jury member has to sign a bond that they will not express their personal opinions about any film, good or bad, and they will not say anything which hurts the integrity or sovereignty of the nation or demeans the status of the awards. right? This guy came and he said all of us. And later on, a lot of jury members said, no, we were never part of it. We were shocked and surprised that this guy said this. Second, using the word vulgar. I mean, this is appalling. This is appalling, Arnav. I do not understand how can anybody use the word vulgar. Tell me, Nadi Marg massacre, was it propaganda? The courts at suo motu reopened that case. Killing of our Air Force commandos, was that propaganda? Was that vulgar? Girja Devi's case, BK Ganju film has 5 incidents. All 5 incidents are well recorded, showing these barbaric murders and gang rapes and cutting a live woman on saw machine. Do you think this is propaganda? I challenge all these people in the ecosystem, whoever Mr. was speaking before me, I challenge everybody. Tell me something. You prove one event, one dialogue, one scene, one shot of this film is not 100% true. I'll stop making films. But if you cannot prove it, then you stop this fake narrative against India and Hindus.
And well, that was the filmmaker speaking on the entire controversy. Protests that we see erupt in several parts of the country of how Kashmiri sentiment stands completely hurt the Israeli filmmaker who had no business to interfere in internal matters or make such a comment, and that he must apologize. Let's listen into some of the voices coming in from these protests.
इस बंदे को एक एजेंट के रूप में देखता हूँ. इस बंदे को प्लांट किया गया है और उसने इफी के स्टेज पे एक बहुत बड़ा ब्लास्ट किया है. ये एक वाइट कॉलर टेररिस्ट था जो चेयरमैन ऑफ जूरी के नाम पे अपॉइंट किया गया. उसने क्या किया, उसने क्या हरकतें की, वो तो बात की बात है. मैं एज अ फिल्म मेकर और एज अ कश्मीरी पंडित, मैं ये पूरी जो बदतमीजी उसने की है, या जो उसने देश के खिलाफ उसने जो मुहिम चलाई वहाँ पे, या जो भी उसने काम किया, इसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो है वो डायरेक्टर ऑफ फिल्म फेस्टिवल और जो सरकारी जो महकमा है आईएनबी मिनिस्ट्री का, वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, क्योंकि इन्होंने उसका बैकग्राउंड, उसका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड नहीं चेक किया और उसको अपॉइंट किया एज अ चेयरमैन. इसकी एक पूरी भरपूर इन्वेस्टिगेशन होनी चाहिए. ये कोई मामूली बात नहीं थी. ये कोई सिंपल सी बात नहीं थी कि इसके अगेंस्ट जो है इन्होंने जो है वो ये किया हुआ है. तो एक सरासर एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए. इसकी ये ख्वाहिश होनी चाहिए कि ये क्यों इसको अपॉइंट किया गया. और ये बहुत बड़ा एक षड्यंत्र था. इन्होंने प्लेटफॉर्म का इस्तेमाल किया और ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म का इस्तेमाल किया जो कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे आपके देश की बदनामी हुई. और चूंकि उसने टारगेट किया कश्मीर फाइल्स को, वो इसलिए टारगेट किया कि वो बताना चाह रहा था कि कश्मीर फाइल जो है वो एक झूठ है, गलत है, और जो कश्मीरी पंडित्स के साथ हुआ ये गलत दिखाया गया इस फिल्म में.
कुछ लोगों को क्लीन चिट देने की कोशिश है ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स की तरफ से, जिस तरह से बताया गया कि जो कश्मीरी पंडित्स के साथ हुआ वो तो गलत पोर्ट्रे किया गया मूवी में. तो उन लोगों को क्या क्लीन चिट देने की कोशिश एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, एक सेक्शन कर रहा है?
देखिए, हमारे देश में ही जो हमारे दुश्मन है ना, उनका भी बहुत बड़ा रोल है. उनका भी बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले किया इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. मेरा ये मानना है कि जो उस फिल्म ने डिपिक्ट किया है, हम सब जो यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं, द डिपिक्शन हैज बीन ट्रू ना. क्योंकि पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि इनकी पूरी जो धारणा है उसको तोड़ा है इन्होंने.
And Kiran Battal now joins us on the phone line. Kiran, your response to all that has been happening ever since that Israeli filmmaker made that comment, and he's not willing to back down. He stands by his statement. This at a time when the Israeli government and the Israeli Council General have apologized and said that his opinion is entirely personal. But you see the usual suspects supporting him. That includes Mehbooba Mufti, who's just tweeted saying it is a sheer propaganda.
Actually, if you see this bloody Israeli filmmaker is a bloody terrorist. But the difference is only he's without arm and he's using his language. And the genocide we had with our Hindu community in Valley, and during the 90s and onwards, still it is going on. That selective killing is going on, and that's why they are all over the world. They are just countering that our genocide, and they are not admitting the facts on the ground. He has never visited to Kashmir. He should go to Kashmir and see how the things are going on. So, and we should such sick people are everywhere in the world, and he has to be punished for this, what he has done. Even his own ambassador of Israel has this tender apology for his bloody remarks and this unwarranted behavior.
All right, Kiran Vatal there speaking to Republic. Thank you for joining us. A lot of voices that have been coming in when we see so many protests across the country for how sentiments of Kashmiri Pandits have been hurt. I also want to bring in Gursimran, who's joining us live from Jammu. Gursimran, Mehbooba Mufti's tweet, very much unexpected lines. It's literally like someone has to speak against Kashmiri Pandits, and she'll go on to reiterate that, and that exactly through this tweet where she's called the film a sheer propaganda. And literally when one talks about the Tukre Tukre gang or the Toolkit gang, those same usual suspects who emerge every single time.
See, the set of people that has always been to question on the sovereignty and integrity of the country, those who always raise question on the forces, they have come together once again. This time Mehbooba Mufti has used the Nadav Leopard statement on the Kashmiri Pandits to target the union government, and also saying that someone has spoken the
I'm
truth.
sorry, I'm having to interrupt you here. Please stay on with us. We're trying to get more voices. Sushil Pandit is with us on the phone line. Sushil Pandit, your response to what Mehbooba Mufti has just put out in her tweet, where she's called the film a sheer propaganda.
Mehbooba Mufti is propaganda personified herself. Mehbooba Mufti bats for jihad, and Mehbooba Mufti, whether in power or in opposition, has a single-minded focus of helping jihad in Kashmir. So today, even if an ignorant or a prejudiced mind speaks a word or two, she would grab them happily because she stands exposed in her role as a jihadi. She knows that in Kashmir what happened was a Hindu genocide, and it cannot be covered. It cannot be shoved under the carpet anymore. It is there for everyone to see. But because she herself is steeped in it, complicit in it, she and her father engineered it. Mufti Muhammad Saeed, the then Home Minister of India, under his watch we had to run for our lives. And till date, nobody has been punished. No court cases have gone on. Not even an acknowledgement has come about our genocide. So the culprits, those who are guilty of this heinous crime, will keep croaking about it till such time they have been punished, they have been called out. An Indian state has failed in acknowledging our genocide and punishing those who are responsible for us. Mehbooba Mufti, Mufti Muhammad Saeed, Farooq Abdullah, Umar Abdullah, Abdul Ghani Lone, all these people are responsible for our fate, and till date they have not been punished for it, not have been called out for it. And so every conceivable occasion they will crawl out of the woodwork and proclaim that everything is fine in Kashmir. The only problem is with those who are speaking the truth. This will continue because Indian state is complicit in it.
Right, Sushil Pandit, thank you.
Our Prime Minister...
Yes. Yes, Sushil Pandit there speaking to Republic. On that note, we move on. Some breaking news coming in. Details just coming in from Karnataka of Nasir Pasha, who is the PFI state president. He has now filed a petition challenging the centre's ban on PFI, which is dismissed in the Karnataka High Court. After the centre had banned the Popular Front of India, PFI State President Nasir Pasha had filed a petition challenging that ban, and this plea has now been dismissed in the Karnataka High Court. We're trying to connect with my colleague Prajwal, who will be able to get us details of what exactly transpired in the Karnataka High Court. But this is certainly now for the Popular Front of India that continues not just to remain banned, but also a big setback where the Karnataka High Court has straightaway dismissed their plea. Nasir Pasha, PFI state president, who had filed this petition. Now the petition that has been dismissed in the Karnataka High Court. Prajwal is with us on the broadcast. Prajwal, there it remains status quo. The centre's ban very much in place and no reprieve as far as PFI is concerned.
Absolutely. Now, Karnataka High Court has gone on to dismiss the plea of Nasir Pasha, who is the president for the PFI, the banned outfit in the state of Karnataka. So, therefore, Justice M. Nagaprasanna has gone on to dismiss this plea because on the 28th of September, the central government had clearly gone on to give an order that with immediate effect, the PFI organization will be banned across the entire nation. And now it is being understood that Nasir Pasha had gone on to challenge this, and the case was in front of the High Court. But now the latest verdict which has been passed at 3, that is just a bit now before it is being understood that this plea has been dismissed. We are yet to get a detailed copy of the verdict which has been passed, but the main summary of it is the fact that it has been pointed out by the centre that PFI was involved in anti-national activities. It was also involved in the funding of anti-national activities, and the PFI cadres also had a role to play with the murder of Hindu leaders, mainly in coastal Karnataka over here. Sharath Madiwala and Praveen Nettaru's case were also mentioned over here, and therefore it has it has dismissed the plea of Nasir Pasha. So this is definitely quite a huge setback for the PFI in the state of Karnataka, and has gone on to state that whatever order has been passed by the centre will continue, will remain to stay over here in the state of Karnataka. These are the latest details that is coming in from the High Court of Karnataka as of now.
All right, Prajwal, thank you for getting us those details. And shifting our focus to more breaking news coming in on the Karnataka-Maharashtra border dispute, where Maharashtra Minister Chandrakant Patil is all set to visit Karnataka on the 3rd of December. He will meet pro-Marathi activists and has also sent a letter to the Chief Secretary of Karnataka about his visit. Prajwal, if I can come back to you, give us details of Chandrakant Patil's visit and what exactly is planned when it comes to meeting with pro-Marathi activists, because both sides are really trying to gather strength as the matter is set to be heard in the top court.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we are getting to understand that finally a letter has been sent by Chandrakant Patil to the Chief Secretary of Karnataka stating that he will be visiting Belgavi on the 3rd of December, and he will also be meeting activists from the Maharashtra Ekikarana Samiti, that is the MES. Not only that, he will also be going to Hindalga, and he will be paying tribute to those pro-Marathi, to those people who had died in 1986 riots on the 15th of January when they were shot, mainly due to the Karnataka-Maharashtra border dispute as well. And this is coming on the backdrop of the Supreme Court, which is yet to take up the case for hearing now. It has been deferred. We still do not know as to when the court will go on and take this particular case as of today, because it is basically a 3-bench divisional bench which is being headed by Justice K.M. Joseph. So therefore now there has been some sort of delay, because he is also present in the constitutional bench which is currently hearing about the Jallikattu matter. And mainly now coming to Chandrakant Patil, on the 28th of November, the MES activist had written a letter to Chandrakant Patil and Shambhuraj Desai as well, these two ministers who had been identified and who has been the Maharashtra government had made them in charge for the Karnataka-Maharashtra border issue. And therefore now Chandrakant Patil had also gone on to tweet yesterday yesterday, stating that he will be visiting Belagavi. And on the backdrop of that, now an official confirmation which is coming in from Chandrakant Patil from his office itself, saying that he will be visiting here. But also we are expecting that the situation might remain tense as well, because earlier this morning we also saw that pro-Kannada activists, mainly from the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike, going on to submit a memorandum to the Belagavi Police City Commissioner, Mr. Borlingaya, going on and stating that Chandrakant Patil or else Shambhuraj Desai should not be let inside Belagavi because...
Right, and we're shifting our focus back to the national capital, where Amit Arora has been given 7 days custody. For 7 days, he will be in ED custody. This is in the Liquorgate case, where this is the 6th arrest that has been made. And you would remember how a short while ago we got you details of Amit Arora being produced in the Rouse Avenue court in the national capital. Now, this is the input that is just coming in of how he has been sent into 7-day custody of the Enforcement Directorate, where he will be questioned further by the ED in the Delhi Excise Policy case. The Enforcement Directorate had arrested Amit Arora, who is the director of Buddy Retails and 13 other companies in the Delhi Liquor Policy case, and this is the 6th arrest made by the agency. He's now been sent to 7 days ED custody. Stepping into a short commercial break, also a quick check of what's lined up on the other side. Bilkis Banu knocks the door off the top court, says send rapists back to jail. Also, protests continue in China. Xi Jinping digs in heels, promises harder crackdown.
Sharmila is seated in the car. This is the very particular car. She is right behind me, and also, as you can see, she is trying to stage protest here. In the meantime, we also see that police officials are not allowing her to move out from this place, and also at the same time there are vehicles which are put across just before her vehicle, and their police officials are asking her to get down because she does not have permission to go ahead, and also at the same time she has been questioning the government here in the state of Telangana.
NIA raids on gangster network across states in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Punjab. Multiple teams are part of the raids at various locations.
International Film Festival that happened in Goa, where the statement from Nadav has clearly mentioned that a Kashmiri file is nothing but an propaganda.
Smriti Irani slams Rahul Gandhi, says he's marching with those who want to break India.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai will be making a visit to Belagavi on the 2nd of December, and this particular visit holds a lot of political significance because this is coming on the backdrop of the escalation in the Karnataka-Maharashtra border row as well. He's coming to Ramdurga to go on and inaugurate several development projects as well as lay foundation stone as well. But on the other side, in Maharashtra, in Sangli district and parts of Jat region, the people there have invited Baswaraj Bommai to confer him an award because he's gone on to give them water, drinking water and water for irrigation facilities when they did not have water as well. But in this particular regard, there has been no sort of official confirmation that is coming from the Chief Minister or else even the Chief Minister's office whether he will be heading to Maharashtra to receive the award. But on the 2nd of December, the arrival of the Chief Minister in Belagavi's Ramdurga region has already been confirmed. With video journalist Sadanand, Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic, Belagavi.
Will smart manufacturing complement traditional manufacturing processes or replace them entirely?
India will be able to contribute approximately 5% of the global market in terms of when we talk about additive manufacturing.
What kind of opportunities does it hold for the BTech students?
Amrita University, I would say, is ideal for students who come into manufacturing, additive manufacturing.
To know more, watch Amrita School of Engineering presents Shaping the Future of India this weekend, only on Republic TV.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted.
And Risaldar Major Ajay Anand Sawant, Arjuna Awardee recipient, training cadets in rowing and equitation.
Now, a word about drill. Drill inculcates discipline, which is the very bedrock of military life. To those of you who have an aesthetic disposition, drill movements will symbolize the very rhyme and rhythm of the poetry of a well-ordered life. And that's precisely the primary aim of this institution, to train our cadets in the art of cultivating a way of life, in which the highest and the noblest attributes of discipline, character and courage are not only blended but also nurtured and nourished.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed, and then the police officials stored the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
Sharmila is seated in the car. This is the very particular car. She is right behind me, and also, as you can see, she is trying to stage protest here. In the meantime, we also see that police officials are not allowing her to move out from this place, and also at the same time there are vehicles which are put across just before her vehicle, and their police officials are asking her to get down because she does not have permission to go ahead, and also at the same time she has been questioning the government here in the state of Telangana.
NIA raids on gangster network across states in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Punjab. Multiple teams are part of the raids at various locations.
International Film Festival that happened in Goa, where the statement from Nadav has clearly mentioned that a Kashmiri file is nothing but an propaganda.
Smriti Irani slams Rahul Gandhi, says he's marching with those who want to break India.
afternoon and thank you for tuning in. You're watching the news at 4 p.m. I'm Suesha Samant and we get you all the top stories making news this afternoon. Most importantly, Mehbooba Mufti just tweeting in support of the Israeli filmmaker who's back to his home country but refuses to apologize. Meanwhile, we see sporadic protests erupt in several parts of the country. Kashmiri pundits hurt over what the Israeli filmmaker has said on the film. We get you that and much more in this edition along with breaking news. First, a quick check of the headlines. After genocide rant, Israeli filmmaker Lapid now reveals political angle to comment. Lapid echoes lobby's intolerant line, attacks Indian government, says no free speech. But Kashmiri pundits expose lobby's propaganda, say make 100 Kashmir files. AIIMS cyber attack case gets bigger. IP addresses from foreign country now under scanner. Bilkis Bano knocks on the doors of Supreme Court, says send rapists back to jail. Protests continue to rage on in China. Xi Jinping digs in heels, promises harder crackdown. And breaking news just coming in of a terror hideout that has been busted in Poonch. Huge cache of arms and ammunition that has been recovered. This is another terror hideout that has been busted in Surankot area of Poonch. We get you those pictures of the recoveries that have been made that include 2 AK-47 rifles, 5 Chinese grenades and 7 magazines. Also wanting to bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's tracking all the details on this story. Gursimran, we stay with those pictures, the terror hideout that has been busted in Poonch. Take us through the details of this operation and all the recoveries that have been made.
See, this operation was launched by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the Indian Army after intelligence input that there is a ammunition dump in the area that has been recently done by a group of terrorists so that it can be used at a later stage. And based on the intelligence input, the operation was launched in the Nabna village that is in the upper reaches of the Surankot, and the police and the Indian Army have recovered 2 rifles, 1 AK-47, 1 AK-56, 5 Chinese grenades, a pistol, a total of 8 magazines and other arms and ammunition from this terror hideout in the area. Now the searches are on to find out whether there was some overground worker or terror associate that is active who has dumped this consignment in this area, or is there a presence of a group of terrorists, because in the Poonch there are reports that 2 groups of terrorists have infiltrated and the searches are on in the area. There have been several search and cordon search operations that were launched by the Indian Army along with the Jammu and Kashmir police in the Surankot and the nearby areas in the recent past. So to avert any tragedy from or any untoward incident, the security forces have launched massive searches in the area, and now a big success has come as this major terror hideout has been busted by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the Indian Army, and the searches continues in the area. Yes.
Gursimran, continue to tell us more, because details we are picking up of how this is a fresh consignment of weapons that was brought on to the Indian side to carry out possible terror attacks. What more are you learning on that?
See, what it seems primarily as per, if you look at the grenades and the other arms and ammunition that has been recovered, this seems to be a fresh consignment that was possibly pushed from across the border to carry out some major terror acts in the area. However, due to the timely information that was received by the security agencies, the Jammu and Kashmir police and the Indian Army has busted this terror module, and now the searches are on to find out those people who were acting in the area so that some details regarding the overground network present in the area, the Suran Court and the nearby areas can be obtained from the call data, from the activity of the phone in that very area. Because it is very crucial to see how these terror activities are happening. We have seen that in the past 1 week's time there have been an intense increase in the terror activities on the borders, in the hinterland, in the upper reaches of the Jammu region, as the terrorists are totally shifting their focus from the snow-clad areas to the areas that are without the snow. In the low-lying areas, the terrorists have once started their activities all of a sudden in the low-lying areas, and that's why the security forces are leaving nothing at chance. They are making it very sure that each and every nefarious plot of the enemy is foiled well within the time, so that precious lives can be saved.
All right, Gursimran, many thanks for getting us those details. And we are getting you breaking news coming in from the national capital in the Liquorgate case, where this is the 6th arrest that was made. Amit Arora, who was picked up by the Enforcement Directorate, and just a short while ago, the Rouse Avenue Court sent him into ED custody for the next 6 days. Republic has been able to access a remand copy of Amit Arora, which clearly states that he was in the influence of Manish Sisodia. ED mentioning this in that remand copy, and also they're suspecting of how he was the connect between the cartel and the political leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party. He was the man who had facilitated the transfer of bribe to the tune of 2.5 crore rupees, and huge digital and physical records that have been seized during these search operations.
प्रदीप जैसे खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षित किया है। श्री राज सिंह को कोचिंग के क्षेत्र में उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए द्रोणाचार्य पुरस्कार जीवन पर्यंत से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री राज सिंह श्री जीवन जोत सिंह तेजा, तीरंदाजी कोच श्री जीवन जोत सिंह तेजा ने हरविंदर सिंह, वी ज्योति सुरेखा, राज कौर, रजत चौहान, अमन सैनी, अभिषेक वर्मा, मधुमिता कुमारी और मुस्कान किरार जैसे खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षित किया है। श्री जीवन जोत सिंह तेजा को उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए द्रोणाचार्य पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री जीवन जोत सिंह तेजा। श्री मोहम्मद अली कमर, राष्ट्रीय मुक्केबाजी कोच श्री मोहम्मद अली कमर ने लवलीना बोरगोहेन, मंजू, जमुना बोरो, सोनिया, सिमरनजीत कौर बाथ और पूजा रानी जैसे खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षित किया। श्री मोहम्मद अली कमर को उनकी उत्कृष्ट उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए द्रोणाचार्य पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री मोहम्मद अली कमर। सुश्री सुमा सिद्धार्थ शिरूर, पैरा निशानेबाजी कोच सुश्री सुमा सिद्धार्थ शिरूर ने अवनी लेखड़ा, ऐश्वर्या प्रताप सिंह तोमर, शाहू तुषार माने, आशी चौकसे, सुनिधि चौहान, किरण अंकुश जाधव, प्रसिद्धि महंत, अभिनव शाह, जीना किट्ठा, आत्मिका गुप्ता और आकृति दहिया जैसे खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षित किया है। सुश्री सुमा सिद्धार्थ शिरूर को उनकी उत्कृष्ट उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए द्रोणाचार्य पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। सुश्री सुमा सिद्धार्थ शिरूर। श्री सुजीत मान। कुश्ती कोच श्री सुजीत मान ने बजरंग पुनिया जैसे कुश्ती खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षित किया है। श्री सुजीत मान को कोचिंग के क्षेत्र में उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए द्रोणाचार्य पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री सुजीत मान। अर्जुन पुरस्कार 2022 सुश्री सीमा पुनिया। एथलेटिक्स की उत्कृष्ट खिलाड़ी सुश्री सीमा पुनिया ने राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2018 में रजत पदक और एशियाई खेल 2018 में कांस्य पदक जीते। सुश्री सीमा पुनिया को उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। सुश्री सीमा पुनिया। श्री एल्धोस पॉल। एथलेटिक्स के सर्वाधिक उत्कृष्ट खिलाड़ियों में से एक श्री एल्धोस पॉल ने राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2022 में स्वर्ण पदक जीता। श्री एल्धोस पॉल को एथलेटिक्स में उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री एल्धोस पॉल। श्री अविनाश मुकुंद साबले। एथलेटिक्स के उत्कृष्ट खिलाड़ी श्री अविनाश मुकुंद साबले ने राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2022 पुरुषों की 3000 मीटर स्टीपल चेज में रजत पदक, एशिया चैंपियनशिप 2019 पुरुषों की 3000 मीटर स्टीपल चेज में रजत पदक जीते। श्री अविनाश मुकुंद साबले को एथलेटिक्स में उनकी उपलब्धियों को देखते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री अविनाश मुकुंद साबले। श्री लक्ष्य सेन। बैडमिंटन के उत्कृष्ट खिलाड़ी श्री लक्ष्य सेन ने राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2022 एकल स्पर्धा में स्वर्ण पदक, राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2022 टीम में रजत पदक, विश्व चैंपियनशिप 2021 और एशिया टीम चैंपियनशिप 2020 में कांस्य पदक जीते। श्री लक्ष्य सेन को बैडमिंटन में उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता देते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री लक्ष्य सेन श्री प्रणय एचएस, बैडमिंटन के उत्कृष्ट खिलाड़ी श्री प्रणय एचएस ने एशियाई चैंपियनशिप 2020 पुरुष टीम एवं एशियाई चैंपियनशिप 2018 पुरुष एकल में कांस्य पदक और राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2018 मिश्र टीम में स्वर्ण पदक जीते। श्री प्रणय एचएस को बैडमिंटन में उनकी उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री प्रणय एचएस। श्री अमित, उत्कृष्ट मुक्केबाज श्री अमित ने राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2022 में स्वर्ण पदक, एशियाई चैंपियनशिप 2021 में रजत पदक, विश्व चैंपियनशिप 2019 में रजत पदक, एशियाई चैंपियनशिप 2019 में स्वर्ण पदक, एशियाई खेलों 2018 में स्वर्ण पदक और राष्ट्रमंडल खेल 2018 में रजत पदक जीते। श्री अमित को उनकी उत्कृष्ट उपलब्धियों को मान्यता प्रदान करते हुए वर्ष 2022 के लिए अर्जुन पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है। श्री अमित।
And we're now getting you pictures from Punjab, Sangrur, where farmers and police came face to face yet again. It was a brutal crackdown on farmers that was seen. This was right outside Bhagwant Man's residence, where the police beat up farmers brutally. Outside the Chief Minister's residence, where farmers were beaten up with lathis and pushed away in this out-and-out face-off between the farmers and the police. We are yet to get details of why that happened and why farmers had gathered outside Bhagwant Man's residence. But the police beat up the farmers who had gathered in huge numbers outside Bhagwant Man's residence. And the Aam Aadmi Party, that has always said that it stands in support of farmers, such was the treatment levied to them right outside Bhagwant Man's residence. You see how farmers have gathered in huge numbers, and police there went on to beat up the farmers, push them back and hit them with lathis. Why that was, we are trying to get details from Amandeep, who's now with us on the broadcast. Amandeep, firstly, why did farmers come outside Bhagwant Man's residence, and why did the police resort to lathi charge?
Well, Suresha, the farmers, basically one union of the farmers, that is Kisan Sangharsh Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee, They were protesting against the Aam Aadmi Party government for not meeting the promises that has been made by Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann earlier. And in fact, today is the day when they have decided to protest out nearby, not even outside, nearby Bhagwant Mann's residence. And basically this protest was staged around 1 kilometer far from the residence of Bhagwant Mann. And they have blocked the national highway that is leading from Patiala to Sangrur. And in fact, number of farmers were sitting on the road in a very peaceful manner, continue their protest the way, the very basic way they were doing in the earlier times as well. But all of a sudden, police delivered a warning to these protesters to vacate the highway. But when farmers did not ready to vacate the highway, all of a sudden they have applied the force on the farmers and even lathi charge. Some of them has been detained, and it was very much visible that how a maximum force has been applied on the farmers to vacate that highway to just disperse their protest from the location. And in fact, the anger of the farmers is all against Aam Aadmi Party government for not implementing the promises that has been made by Bhagwant Mann regarding the Panchayati lands and even regarding other promises that has been made by Aam Aadmi Party government when these farmers earlier protested on the same location. But this time, instead of meeting them, instead of negotiating the talks with the farmers, straight away the government has applied the force to disperse the farmers from their location. And visuals are very much telling that how the lathis has been charged on the farmers who were sitting on the protest. So Swesha, basically they all were sitting in a very peaceful manner. Nobody was trying to Ghirao CM's house. Nobody was trying to, intervene into the law and order situation. They have just blocked the highway, and in the middle of the highway, they were sitting and just addressing the gathering of the farmers.
But that exactly is the point, Amandeep, that this action will be hugely questioned, because this is the Aam Aadmi Party that has always supposed to stand in support of farmers, so much so that when the farmer protests were happening the last time around, they had questioned the centre every time because they said that they stand in support of the farmers. And today, when it has come on to questioning them, see the kind of treatment they are putting the farmers through.
Well, absolutely, Swesha, absolutely. This is not the way to deal with the farmers. So basically, farmers were protesting in a peaceful manner. And the right way to deal with them, that any of the ministers from the Mann cabinet, he should have come and in fact negotiate the talks with these Kisan unions and try to diffuse the protest. But that not happened. Just because the entire cabinet is occupied in the Gujarat election, including Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. And few of the ministers are still in Chandigarh and they are very much engaged to their own work. But nobody was concerned about these farmers who were continuously sitting on protest with their pending demands. And lastly, they have applied force to vacate the protest from the national highway. And earlier, it's a very rightly to mention that earlier Aam Aadmi Party was the one who actually questioned the Congress action when they tried to apply the force on the farmers, and even the union government's action when they tried to apply the force on the farmers, and even the Haryana government when this Singhu agitation has been started. Aam Aadmi Party, Bhagwant Mann, Kejriwal all the time questioned that what is the need to apply the force, to apply the lathi charge on the farmers when they are peacefully protesting for their demands. This is a democracy. And now what happened to the democracy? That is the big question. When the protest stage outside nearby the Chief Minister's residence in Sangrur, then there is no democracy and police is very much there to apply the force to vacate that protest, to disperse that protest. But this is actually an action that will escalate the anger among the farmers against Aam Aadmi Party and Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, just because this is not the way to deal with the farmers who were sitting in a very peaceful manner. In fact, Swesha, two videos come out. One is of lathi charge, how the police is applying force on the farmers, and another video came out that how these farmers were sitting in the middle of the national highway and in a very peaceful manner. They have no intent to move anywhere from that. They have no intent to create any kind of law and order situation there at the spot. But their basic need is that they wanted to meet their demands. They wanted that their demands should be addressed by Chief Minister. That was promised to them, but that did not happen. And in fact, that is the reason they were protesting in a very peaceful manner. But all of a sudden, police has given them the warning when they did not ready to vacate the highway. The police started lathi charge on them, and even some of them has also been detained at the spot. And the police forcibly vacate that national highway nearby Bhagwant Man's residence. Yes, Vish.
Shame, because the Chief Minister of Gujarat, we are hearing, Amandeep, the Chief Minister of Gujarat is in, the Chief Minister of Punjab is in Gujarat, and the Chief Minister of Delhi is also in Gujarat. They're campaigning, and the farmers have been dealt with this severe lathi attack, if I can call it that, because they've been asked to vacate. But this sort of a brutal crackdown, we can't help but ask. Even at the height of the farmers' protest in the national capital, we didn't see something like this. Why has it come down to this? Why are farmers being thrashed in the way that they are?
Well, Niranjan, the point is that this Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee was not the first time protesting against Bhagwant Man's residence. And in fact, days earlier, on around 12 to 14 September, the similar way they were protested at a similar location. And even they demanded that Bhagwant Mann should address the queries and the problems of this Kisan Union, just because they are the farmers who are having less than 5-acre land. And in fact, their bread and butter is being completely dependent on the agriculture itself. And even the Bhagwant Mann government is not addressing and facilitating their queries. And that is the reason. And in fact, they have given the ultimatum to Bhagwant Mann that if they are not able to implement their problems, implement the promises that has been made by the Bhagwant Mann in September, again the protest will be scheduled. And in fact, today is the day when they have given...
Stay with me. Partap Singh Bajwa, Mr. Partap Singh Bajwa is joining us on the phone line. He's a very, very senior Congress leader. Mr. Bajwa, you will agree that even at the height of the farmers' protests, nobody saw this sort of a brutal crackdown. This is a brutal crackdown. The pictures are horrific. Mr. Bajwa.
It's very unfortunate, and there's nothing surprising what this government is doing. This government, which was basically brought in with the support of the farmers, has attacked every single section of the people who have supported them to come back to farm. Maybe they are the employees, maybe they are people who are farmers, or people working at the scheduled caste or backward classes. So a lot of sections are agitating against this present government, and especially Bhagwant Mann. What he has been doing is they have been promising heaven to the farmers, but once the farmers call off their protest, nothing happens. So this is exactly what is happening. Is once they call off the protest, they promise that by so and so date, whatever promises have been made would be implemented. And once the promises are not implemented, the farmers or the laborers or the government employees, they once again start with these kind of dharnas or garaos. So it's most unfortunate they take 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward. It's a very, very aggressive government. For the last 2 months they are missing. They are all in Gujarat. The Chief Minister, his cabinet, and now they have decided with bag and baggage to shift to MCB elections in Delhi. They were meant to rule Punjab. They are completely absentee landlords. And they have left the state as an orphan child. So it's most unfortunate what is happening. But this is what is in store for people of Punjab for the next couple of years.
You know, Mr. Bajwa, we had the pictures of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal also in Gujarat. Arvind Kejriwal is in Gujarat. Bhagwant Mann is in Gujarat. And it's free for all. We've been talking about Amritpal Singh, the law and order situation. What is going on? You know, they say one thing while the farmer protest was on for the longest time in 2020, 2021. And look at what they are doing to their own farmers.
See, you must understand, they are a one-time wonder. People have made this grave mistake of getting this kind of a anarchist party. They are a party of anarchists. They have no principles. Their leaders have no experience of governing the state. They have left the whole of the state establishment in shambles. Punjab is in a very precarious condition. Nobody's life, nobody's property is safe in Punjab. People are asking for ransoms. People are being kidnapped. Daily killings are going on, and there's rampant drug abuse in the state. And the Chief Minister is doing that Gujarati.
ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੇ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅੰਨਾ ਤਸ਼ੱਦਦ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਾਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਮੰਗਾਂ
Angry farmers there. Angry farmers. They were just protesting, asking for their right in Punjab. Let's cut back to the feed on ANI. On ANI service, the farmers who are speaking, and on your screen right now, that's Bhagwant Mann, who's in Gujarat. Bhagwant Mann is in Gujarat. Arvind Kejriwal is in Gujarat. And it's free for all in Punjab. The farmers protesting on the highways have been thrashed. Look at those pictures, unprecedented. You remember those pictures of the Singhu border, ladies and gentlemen, when the farmers of Punjab were protesting in the NCR. And it was a protest that went on for months together. Highways were blocked. Economic work was stalled. And yet, did you see this kind of a crackdown? A brutal crackdown. And as Bhagwant Mann is in Gujarat. On Amritpal, he was in Gujarat. When questioned, let me go close to also to Sukhjinder Randhawa ji. Sukhjinder Randhawa of the Congress joining us on the phone line. Farmer leader Randhawa ji, ये जो हो रहा है, भगवंत मान जी तो गुजरात में है, केजरीवाल जी भी गुजरात में है, और जो हमारे जो फार्मर्स है, किसानों को लाठी मिल रही है वहाँ पे।
देखिए, आज आप अगर रिपब्लिक टीवी वाले भगवंत मान की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस और पंजाब के किसानों के लाठीचार्ज दोनों को साथ साथ चलाएंगे, हिंदुस्तान के लोगों को पता चल जाएगा कि ये पंजाब का चीफ मिनिस्टर कितना झूठ और पंजाबियों के साथ ब्लंडर कर रहा है। ये आप अगर आज उनकी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस और आज के पंजाब के ऊपर जो लाठीचार्ज है दोनों को साथ साथ चलाइए, लोगों को पता चल जाएगा पंजाब का चीफ मिनिस्टर पूरे हिंदुस्तान को मिसगाइड कर रहा है, मिसलीड कर रहा है, गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा है। जो पंजाब के हालात हैं, आप लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पर चले जाइए, आप एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर चले जाइए, आप आरडीएफ की जो आज बात कर रहे हैं, पंजाब के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर की गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया दे नहीं रही। हर स्टेट को, हमारा भी 5 साल राज रहा है, गवर्नमेंट रही है, हमें भी आरडीएफ की प्रॉब्लम आई, पर जो आरडीएफ को जो सरकार चलाता है उसको आरडीएफ जहाँ कोई नाम मिलना या मिलना अलग बात है, पर स्टेट के लिए लोगों को कहना कि हमें गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया नहीं देती, तो हमें भी नहीं दे रही थी, हमें भी बहुत मुश्किल आ रही थी, पर फिर भी हमने अपने रिसोर्सेज पैदा किए। आज पंजाब के साथ जो इन्होंने कहा था, भगवंत मान इनकी रैलीज में और दिल्ली में जब इनकी एजिटेशन हुई थी और कांग्रेसियों को वहां जाने के बिल्कुल मनाही थी, वो कहते कि कांग्रेस नहीं एंटर कर सकती हमारे वहां प्रोटेस्ट पर, ये आम आदमी पार्टी वहां बैठकर उनके साथ बैठी थी। आज उन्हीं किसानों के ऊपर लाठी चल रही है, डंडे बरस रहे हैं, उनकी एक बात नहीं मानी जा रही। और मोर ओवर वो जो किसान कहते हैं कि हमें इन रिटन अंडरटेकिंग दीजिए कि आप एश्योरेंस दो, मेरे को एक बात नहीं समझाई, जहाँ इस गवर्नमेंट को समझ नहीं आ रही, जो कैबिनेट का डिसीजन होता है वो रिटन जो गवर्नमेंट की एश्योरेंस है ऊपर उससे ऊपर है। कैबिनेट मीन्स कि एक डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाता है, लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाता है जो सरकार को और लोगों को उसको मानना पड़ता है। तो जो कहते हैं नहीं, हाँ कैबिनेट से ऊपर चीफ मिनिस्टर की एश्योरेंस है वो चाहिए। ये बहुत बड़ा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बात भी हमें करनी पड़ेगी कि अगर कैबिनेट के ऊपर है तो ये ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। इसीलिए पंजाब के ऊपर जो आज जो पहले भी इतने दिनों से रास्ते रोक रहे हैं और चीफ मिनिस्टर पंजाब से गायब है, पंजाब की कैबिनेट पूरी की पूरी गायब है और पंजाब के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर जेलों का क्या हाल है, गुंडागर्दी का पूरा बोलबाला है, गैंगस्टर जो है डे लाइट एक्सटॉर्शन मांग रहे हैं और पूरा पंजाब सहम में पड़ा है।
ये देखिए रंधावा जी, अभी जो हमारे जो फार्मर्स का प्रोटेस्ट चला सिंघू बॉर्डर पे, वो तो कितने महीने चले, वहाँ पे भी इतना वायलेंट क्रैकडाउन हमें नहीं दिखाई पड़ी। अभी ये देखिए, ये जो तस्वीरें आ रही है वहाँ से संगरूर से, और वो भी भगवंत मान जी के घर से बाहर। और आपको एक मैसेज भी ये है कि you know, when it happened at the Singhu border, there was no crackdown like this, and it was the same parties. In fact, even the Congress showed support to the farmers back then, but such a crackdown was not seen. The same party, if I'm not wrong, आम आदमी पार्टी भी समर्थन दे रहे थे तब फार्मर्स को सिंघू बॉर्डर पे, लेकिन उनको ऐसे ट्रीटमेंट देना फार्मर्स को, दिस इज एक्सट्रीमली अनबिकमिंग।
1 minute, listen me. जब पंजाब में ये एजिटेशन, फार्मर्स एजिटेशन चली थी और उसको फार्मर्स के साथ मीटिंग करने के लिए कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह ने हमारी 3 आदमियों की कमेटी बनाई थी और मैं उनके साथ सभी मीटिंग्स मैंने की है। इवन मैं अमित शाह जी को भी मिलता रहा हूँ इसी कंटेस्ट में। एक बार भी इनके ऊपर लाठीचार्जिंग हुआ और हमने कभी भी इनके साथ नहीं किया। जो आज लाठीचार्ज हुआ है ये एरोगेंसी है और मेरा ख्याल कि ये इनका दिमाग खराब हो गया है इस गवर्नमेंट का, कि वो कहते हैं कि हम ईमानदार हैं और पूरे हिंदुस्तान में सभी लोग बेईमान हैं। तो जब ये एरोगेंसी और इनकम्पिटेंसी जब दोनों इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं तो लोगों का जीना जो है वो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है।
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you on that point. You know, look at the comparisons also, Mr. Randhawa. One last question. See, the comparison is very clear. Here the farmer, the Punjab government is saying clear the roads, don't block highways. Okay, maybe they have a point. It's wrong to block highways because even during the farmers' protest, वही कहा था कि don't block highways, let the economic work go on. But it's the treatment. At the end, it's the treatment and the way you treat your farmers. And I think that's all matters today. When you look back at how things have unfolded.
पंजाब में फार्मर्स ने 3 महीने के लिए पूरे जो है रेलवे लाइन से ट्रैक जो इन्होंने बंद कर दिए थे। तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने उन्होंने कहा कि कोई बात नहीं, हम इनके साथ बात करेंगे। अगर ये होते तो जब डंडे नहीं गोली चलाकर उनको वहां से उठाते। ये एरोगेंसी की और पॉलिटिकल बैंक्रप्सी की बात मैं कर रहा हूँ।
एब्सोल्युटली रंधावा जी, वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट ये जो हो रहा है पंजाब में। लास्ट वीक हमने एक स्टोरी भी की थी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बारे में। अमृतपाल सिंह का हमने एक इंटरव्यू लिया था जहाँ पे वो बोल रहा है कि उनको खालिस्तान चाहिए, लोगों को गन लेना चाहिए हाथ में। ये क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे पता नहीं पंजाब में, लेकिन ये जो जिनको बात करना है इसके बारे में वो तो गुजरात में प्रचार कर रहे हैं, तो पता नहीं चल रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है पंजाब में। रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट।
मैं और थोड़ा बोल दूं?
बताइए।
ये जो कर रहे हैं चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब, इन्होंने आज तक अमृतपाल के अगेंस्ट या उसके लिए कि क्या वो पंजाब में कर एक भी स्टेटमेंट नहीं आई। इवन इन्होंने वो जो हमारे पंजाब में पुराने है लीडर, उनको स्नैप किया था। दूसरी बात, इन्होंने कहा कि जो लाइसेंसिंग आर्म्स हैं उनकी वेरिफिकेशन की जाए। मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर को बताना चाहता हूं कि जब टेररिज्म था, पंजाब पुलिस ने लोगों को कहा था कि अगर आप लाइसेंस नहीं ले सकते, वेपन नहीं परचेज करते, तो पंजाब पुलिस ने लोगों को उनको प्रोवाइड किए थे वेपन्स कि आप लोग जो है टेररिस्टों का मुकाबला करो। और पंजाब के लोगों ने पुलिस के साथ मिलकर पुलिस से वेपन्स लेकर ये टेररिज्म का मुकाबला किया था। आज पंजाब में ऐसे हालात बन गए हैं, शरीफ आदमी की बंदूक अपने पुलिस स्टेशन में जमा करवा रहे हैं। गुंडे जो अनलाइसेंस्ड जो इलीगल वेपन्स है वो पंजाब में शरेआम घूम रहे हैं। इनको ये इस गवर्नमेंट को इतना नहीं पता कि हमारे साथ पाकिस्तान बैठा है जो कभी हिंदुस्तान को स्टेबल नहीं रहने देगा, पंजाब को डिस्टर्ब करेगा और हिंदुस्तान को डिस्टर्ब करेगा। ये नेशनैलिटी की कमी है, मैं कहूँगा नेशनैलिटी की कमी है। ये अनार्किस्ट हैं, अनार्की फैला रहे हैं पंजाब में। इसके ऊपर हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए पंजाबियों को और हिंदुस्तानियों को।
ठीक बात कही आपने, बहुत गंभीर मामला है। थैंक यू वेरी मच रंधावा जी, गुड टू टॉक टू यू। That's Sukhjinder Randhawa, Congress MLA, joining us from Punjab on the phone line. Let me also go across to more leaders. Hardeep Singh Kangra, also a Congress leader from Punjab, joining us. Hardeep Singh Kangra ji, you know, you've been on so many debates. Mr. Kingra, so many debates that you've been on during the farmers' protest, and nobody remembers seeing such a crackdown, sir. Such a violent crackdown, such a brutal crackdown in Singhu. It went on and on and on. This is really unprecedented.
You know, this present Punjab government is working on a knee-jerk reactions.
You know, if you remember, this Chief Minister of Punjab, Mr. Bhagwant Mann, used to say on the stages that when we will form the government, there will not be any dharnas, there will not be any protests, there will not be any water cannon, there will not be any lathi charge, there will not be any person going on the tanki, and there will not be any protest. Now, all this thing is happening. He specifically said once, if you remember, that if Mr. Prakash Singh Badal is so insecure as Chief Minister of Punjab, he should start a poultry farm. Now this man is moving with 42 vehicles and 350 security personnel. So he can jolly well start a poultry farm if he wants. So the question is, to win election, you tell all the lies. This is the strategy of the Aam Aadmi Party in Himachal, in Gujarat, and this was in Punjab. Of course, they succeeded in Punjab because people believed them. But now it is just 9 months and the people are fed up with this government in 9 months. And let me tell you one thing, this party is like an ephemeral. They came in the rainy season and they will perish after the rainy season. So 5 years, fine, but you never know that they will be eliminated out of the scene, you know, in Punjab politics forever after 5 years.
Well, absolutely. Mr. Kingra, we'll speak again later this evening. Breaking news coming in from Sangrur. Really disturbing pictures. We have two more panelists on the phone line with us right now. Looking at horror, the kind of pictures that are coming out. Labour and trade unions protesting. Farmers also protesting on the streets of Sangrur outside Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann's residence. Ramnik Mann is on the phone line. Political analyst Anil Sareen of the BJP also on the phone line. Taking both gentlemen on the phone line right now. Ramnik, you've also been on these debates during the farmers' protest. I mean, at the height of the protest, you didn't see something like this. At the height of the Singhu protest, can you imagine if the same thing had happened in Singhu? My God.
Well, I have been highlighting this since ever, that the Aam Aadmi Party is a party of anarchists, autocrats, arrogant and incompetent people. The best that they can be described is as pathological liars and opportunists. Well, I did not expect this from Bhagwant, especially in light of what statements he had been making all along during the farmers' protest at Singhu border. They made commitments to assistant professors, 1,158. The same treatment was meted out to them when they had gone to the higher education minister's residence. The young girls, boys, their turbans were, taken off their heads. Young girls' suits and their clothes were torn apart. This is how they operate. This is how, the anarchist behavior of the Aam Aadmi Party is now at full display and for everybody to see. This is something which is very disturbing, especially in a border state like Punjab. Well, when the farmers have been asking for their rights and duly promised to them, and, these promises were made by none less than Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant themselves. So now when it's time for them to keep their word, they would come forward and they would, lathi charge on the farmers who are protesting. This had never happened, like you rightly said. Had this happened at Singhu border, it would have become an international event. It would have, Mia Khalifas and Rihanas and, God knows what not. All those politicians in Canada would have jumped in and said, look, how they're treating Sikhs, how they're treating farmers. Now, let's ask, if they are lathi charging farmers, see, the same slogan would come at 4, not no farmer, no food. So when you lathi charge farmers, what is the backlash? What is the repercussion of this? This really needs to be seen. And the gentleman who was speaking before me, I completely agree and concur with him that in time to come, they would actually diminish, not just from Delhi and Punjab, but from the national political stage.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. You see the language that they spoke back then during the farmer protest. You remember that agitation when they all stormed the national capital, went to the Red Fort. You remember all of that, Anil, Mr. Sareen? You remember that? And what they said back then? And look at the pictures now. Can they justify it?
This brutal act cannot be justified. This is the same party, Aam Aadmi Party. Before elections, Kejriwal as well as Bhagwant Mann keep on saying that there will be no lathi charge, no protest, no these persons climbing the water tanks and all that. They promised moon on earth, and now when the people are asking for where is our moon, now they feel disturbed because they have no answer. That is a problem. और आज जो कुछ हो रहा है ये बहुत चिंता का विषय है. और जब दिल्ली में ये किसान बैठे थे केंद्र सरकार के खिलाफ, तभी अपने वर्कर्स भेज रहे थे, उनको जलेबियां भेज रहे थे, पानी सप्लाई कर रहे थे। उस समय तो ये कह रहे थे कि ये भगवान का रूप है जी, किसान अन्नदाता है, इसके ऊपर जो है इतने दिन हो गए इनको बैठे हुए, केंद्र सरकार इनसेंसिटिव है। क्या आज भगवंत मान बताएंगे कि ये क्या हो रहा है? केंद्र सरकार ने तो एक लाठी नहीं चलाई है, आपने तो उनको पीट के भगा रहे हैं। आपकी मैं देख रहा हूँ आपके टेलीविजन के ऊपर, स्क्रीन के ऊपर, किस तरह से उनको बुरी तरह पीटा जा रहा है। क्या ये है भगवंत मान? क्या ये है आम आदमी पार्टी का असली चरित्र? हम पहले से कह रहे थे कि इनकी कथनी और करनी में बहुत अंतर है। ये जो कहते हैं वो कभी नहीं करते, और ये केवल लोगों को मूर्ख बनाते हैं। और इतनी एरोगेंस इनके आ गई है इस पार्टी में। पंजाब ने 92 विधायक इनको क्या चुनकर दे दिए, दे बिकम एरोगेंट। इवन टुडे देयर लोकल बॉडी मिनिस्टर सेज कि पंजाबी बेवकूफ है। अरे भाई, इन्हीं पंजाबियों ने आपको सत्ता में बिठाया है, और आपके मंत्री कहते हैं कि पंजाबी बेवकूफ है। सो दिस इज द हाइट ऑफ एरोगेंस इन दिस गवर्नमेंट एंड द लीडर्स. So BJP strongly condemns this lathi charge.
It is a very worrying situation. In fact, we have those pictures coming in of Bhagwan Man campaigning in Gujarat as well. Anil Sareen and Ramnik Man, thank you for joining us. Getting in more pictures. In fact, they're making pro-farmer promises in Gujarat and in Punjab. That's the treatment that farmers are being handed out. It's a reality. The picture is playing out. I'm taking a short break. Story broken by Republic TV of the Sangrur crackdown, the brutal crackdown on farmers who were protesting outside the Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Man's residence. Of course, he wasn't there. He was in Gujarat campaigning. And farmers who are asking for their MSP. They wanted an MSP promise. They've been met with a brutal crackdown. That story continues when we come back. Stay tuned.
NIA raids on gangster network across states in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Punjab. Multiple teams are part of the raids at various locations.
International Film Festival that happened in Goa, where the statement from Nadav has clearly mentioned that a Kashmiri file is nothing but an propaganda.
Smriti Irani slams Rahul Gandhi, says he's marching with those who want to break India.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening, compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed, and then the police officials stored the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
Coming back with the live pictures. In fact, we're getting in some breaking news now that the farmers at Sangrur in Punjab, outside the Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Man's residence, are continuing with their protest. They're not giving up, unrelenting despite the crackdown, despite the brutal crackdown and the lathis that were rained on them. The excuse given by the government is that they wanted these farmers to get out of the way and move out. They didn't want them to sit on highways. Takes you back to what happened at the Singhu border when thousands of farmers, mostly from Punjab, were at the Singhu border for months and months together, and even back then, the Aam Aadmi Party claimed they stood with the farmers. They said they would never let farmers face such a fate, and look at the pictures today. Back then there were pictures of Manish Sisodia. In fact, we have those pictures when Manish Sisodia and the entire team at Aam Aadmi Party gave a langar for all the farmers in Punjab. In Punjab, today the pictures are coming in. In fact, we're getting in more breaking news updates now. Amandeep says that the protests continue. Back then, they gave a langar for the farmers at Singhu. But right now, farmers are getting lathis. Langar at Singhu, lathis at Sangrur. That's the reality. And across the board, opposition parties in Punjab asking questions of Bhagwant Mann, who, by the way, is not even in Punjab, he's in Gujarat now. We had live pictures coming in from Gujarat of Bhagwant Mann campaigning. Arvind Kejriwal is campaigning. And look at the irony. That's the langar at Singhu and lathis at Sangrur. At the Singhu border, the Aam Aadmi Party sent its senior-most leaders to meet the farmers who were protesting, to spend time with them. They made promises back then. In fact, that was one of the reasons, one of the prime reasons why they were voted to power. They claimed they were with farmers completely back then, and that they used the farmers' protest as perhaps one of the main issues to get into power in Punjab. Let me go across to Amandeep, who's getting us more breaking